Thank you very much, House Chair. What a joke. Mr. Masondo as Chair and Mr. Dango as the Provincial Whip should be ashamed of themselves for the way that this program was carried out in the Gauteng province. The Provincial Week was themed as a follow-up to Local Government Week under the theme Ensuring Capable and Financially Sound Local Government. The report that we're discussing today reflects that, and I quote, a key theme that emerged from the Local Government Week was the inadequacy of support to local government and the need to focus the 2020 Provincial Government Week on the Section 154 support needed by municipalities. So let us look at the support that we gave to the struggling municipalities and to their residents. On the Tuesday, the program was cut short to allow for questions to the President. On the Wednesday, the program was cut short to allow members to listen to the MTBPS budget speech from Finance Minister Mboweni. This is a National Assembly meeting, which we could have easily caught up on using recordings and the media. The Thursday program was diverted to go and investigate a matter which, while being most serious and dire, falls outside of the responsibility of the NCOP, and especially outside of the theme of the week. So let's discuss then what the ANC were trying to avoid. The three municipalities under scrutiny were Tshwane, Sedibeng, and Emfuleni. The Tshwane power grab by MEC Maile was overturned by the court, and the Democratic Alliance government has returned to office. I'd like to say good luck to Mayor Randall Williams and his team. The Sedibeng district municipality was the subject of a substantial report released on 2 November. That's 2 days after our engagement. And yet, the MEC chose not to even mention it when he presented to us. The report proposes that the district be placed under administration, with councillors who supported certain decisions being made personally liable for the repayment of the financial losses caused by their poor judgment and decisions. It's amazing that the arrogant MEC chose not to even mention the impending report. And the mayor spoke about everything except that which falls inside their powers and functions. Now let's look at Emfuleni, the basket case of Gauteng. The report on hand records the comment from the mayor that in spite of the paperwork, Emfuleni, after 2.5 years, has had very little support from provincial or national government. The municipality then became the focus of the media on the 9th of November as service delivery collapsed in large areas as a result of both Eskom and Rand Water shutting down supply 1 week after we were supposed to do our oversight there. MEC Maile said in March that he was finalizing a deal with Eskom. Clearly he failed, but he didn't bother telling us that in his report. The knock-on effects of Eskom and Rand Water's actions have been extreme. As I stand here, there are areas that have been without electricity for 12 days. The suburb of Three Rivers has had no power for almost 2 weeks due to the total collapse of the municipality. The Phoenix Park as well is flooded with sewage. Boipatong is again without water. But you, Mr. Chairman, felt it more important to do the work of the Portfolio Committee on Transport than to focus on the NCOP's work where we should be making a difference. To show you just how disingenuous you are, Mr. Dango went to great lengths to emphasize that only questions and answers were to be handled from Tuesday to Thursday, and that our conclusions and deliberations would take place on Friday. Imagine my consternation when I was queried on some of our conclusions while I was doing a radio interview on a different matter on the Thursday morning. It turns out that Mr. Dango, rather undiplomatically, chose to release a media statement quoting some of his conclusions, but he packaged them as the conclusions of the delegation. When I challenged him on the issue, he could find no response and he hid behind the chairperson. This really is the arrogance of the ANC on display. Total disdain for the people who elected you, total disdain for the job that we're supposed to do, total disdain for other members of this House, total disdain for protocol or even common courtesy.
He's the chief on mind games.
And at the end, it is the people of Emfuleni, of Sedibeng, and of Tshwane who suffer. It's the people of Gauteng who must pay for MEC Maile's court cases and appeals, and all are left with no real service delivery at all. This report is a whitewash. It includes nothing to show how the MEC arrogantly diverted us and did not disclose to the delegation what the real situation is. It includes nothing to show how the mayors of both Emfuleni and Sedibeng contradicted the statements of the MEC at different times. It also does not reflect the fact that no amount of administrative intervention can help until such time as Luthuli House intervenes and sorts out the political infighting in the Emfuleni municipality and the Sedibeng district. It may be a small problem in the light of what's going on, but even the process of adopting a report was flawed. How can the report be ATC'd before the delegation has even adopted it? Gauteng sits with the chair, the House chair, and our whip. All of our ANC representatives are senior members of this House, and yet you can't even get a simple process right. Your arrogance is boundless. You should be ashamed. Political expedience try to divert.
Shame yourself. You must be ashamed.
It's why you
remember.
It's why you lose the election. Order, member.
Gauteng was a failure, just like the ANC failed the people of Tshwane, and now the people of Emfuleni and Sedibeng too. Thank you, House Chair.